All right, my friends, we are back for another video. It's been a while, and I want to talk to you about something that happened with a client the other day. And this isn't the first time this scenario has presented itself with a client because it's a common situation. And I know it's something that a lot of you guys have gone through today as well. And that's this mindset that when you go and when you approach a woman, that you are in some way bothering her. So essentially what happened with the client is he had an assignment to go in, talk to women, and he'd see women sitting down at a cafe. He'd see girls chilling on a park bench. He'd see girls in the subway. And these were not girls who were in a hurry or anything like that. And he wanted to talk to them. But then he had in his mind this idea that, well, if I go talk to her, I'm just going to be bothering her. And if I go and talk to her and bother her, then I'm just going to ruin her day. So what I asked him was fairly simple. Do you think that if one of these girls who was going about her day was approached by Leonardo DiCaprio, that she would be upset that he approached her? And the obvious answer to that, of course, is no. She'd be pretty excited. Oh my God, Leonardo DiCaprio talked to me today. The point of this is not to necessarily put yourself on the same tier as a celebrity, but it is to deconstruct a lot of what's actually going on here. It's not really about you bothering a woman. What it is that you think that an interaction with you is a net negative for a woman. So it's not really about protecting the woman in general from an approach. It's about protecting her from yourself. And the question is, why would you have a mindset like that? Where does that mindset come from? We know it's come a lot from societal programming. And I did a TikTok recently that 72% of men are afraid to tell a woman that she's beautiful because they're afraid of coming across as harassing women. That's the programming today. If as a man you express any of your own interest to a woman, if she doesn't want that for whatever reason, if she's not interested, then you've harassed her, because women are such delicate little snowflakes that they can't handle it, right? I want to talk about two things here. The first is the arrogance. So a lot of the guys who have this mindset, it's a nice guy mindset. It's a nice guy sort of attitude that's like, well, if I talk to her, I could affect her in a negative way. That would just be a terrible experience for her, and I'm going to be a good guy. I'm an amazing man because I don't bother women with my presence. Not only is this sad and pathetic, but it's also arrogant, because what you're saying is that you have so much power to affect a woman, so much power to ruin a woman's day from you simply saying anything to her. So you see, understand, like, what happens with guys in their mind is they raise the stakes on all this, and in a kind of Nietzschean sense, they turn their cowardice into a sense of morality. Like, well, I was protecting her from myself, right? I don't know what guys really think an approach has to entail. You don't have to go up to a woman, and you don't have to get super physical or sexual with her. I would encourage you not to, actually. An approach is literally a casual statement. You're opening up a conversation. Fundamentally, you're seeing whether or not a woman is interested in connecting with you. That's all you're doing. This isn't some sort of, like, day affecting thing. She doesn't want to talk to you. Don't push it. I'm not one of those guys who thinks that you need to, one of those dating coaches who thinks that you need to really push it with women. I don't think it's usually constructive. And I do think that, in certain jurisdictions, I don't know about the individual guy. Guys could theoretically go overboard. In practice, no guy is going anywhere close to overboard, because guys are so afraid of harassing a woman, they don't talk to her at all. But talking to a woman isn't harassing a woman. Okay, let's get that straight here. If you're not letting a woman leave, if you're blocking her in some way, if you're saying derogatory things towards her, then you're harassing a woman. If you're complimenting her on her boots, or if you're asking her, making a joke about her going shopping, being a shopping addict, you're not harassing her. You need to think about yourself as if you're a man who is there to give love, to give value to a woman's life. A lot of guys think that when they go and talk to a girl, they're fundamentally taking from her. There's no reason to have that mindset at all. When you go and talk to a girl, you should be thinking about how can you give her love? How can you improve her day? How can you build her up? One of my clients got really in the day game a few years ago, and he told me this story, and he was out. He approached some woman on the street, and she kind of blew him off. And then after about like 20 feet, after walking past him, she turned around, she said, "You know what?" And he was like, "Oh man, here it comes." You get that 1 in 100 approaches where the girl like chews you out. And she said, "I met my husband. My husband did the exact same thing as you when he met me." Said, "What you're doing is saving the world. Keep it up." Don't get confused by all the bitter feminists out there. Women are desperate for connection. They're desperate to be approached. They want to be approached. Even if they have some resistance initially, they want cool, fun guy to enter into their life. Even if a girl's in a relationship, it's extremely flattering. Like that girl. She was so happy to see another man go and talk to her on the street, to have the confidence to do it. She could see it was masculine, and it left her better than he found her. That's what you always want to think about with women. So when you go and talk to women, don't come into it with this attitude of how can I get a woman to give me the time of day. Think about it as how can I give this woman something? Is she open to connecting? Let me give her something that will leave her better than I found her. And if you approach women with that attitude, you're very rarely going to get any sort of toxic response. And if you get a toxic response, the toxic response is not going to be coming because of anything you did. It's going to be because of her and her life and things that she did. You're going to leave so many women better than you found them, and you're going to start to feel like, wow, women actually like me. When I go and talk to women, I make their life better. So don't think of yourself as some worm. Think of yourself as Leo. Think of yourself as some celebrity. Think of yourself as some individual who a woman would be so excited to talk to. Even if it was just a few words, even if it was a brief exchange, that exchange is going to make your day better. Because remember, even if you do get a little bit of a cool response, it's not even about you. A lot of women are in their head. They feel awkward. I've heard from girls so often that they've had a guy approach them and they were kind of weird in the interaction and closed off. The guy left and they were kicking themselves afterwards. They were like, why was I so weird? Why was I so awkward? He was really cute. So even when, the girl doesn't open up as much as you'd like and things don't move forward, it's not necessarily about you. Keep your intent on giving love, offering value, building up women. You're not going to have any problem approaching women by the end of the day. Keep doing that. You're going to rewire your entire brain and you're going to make the world a better place. And you're going to get beautiful girls attracted to you. See you next time.